Alright, this one was a real pain in the ass. I have taken this starter motor apart and put it back together 5 times, it feels like. Finally got it working, figured out where the corrosion had built up in the starter motor's commutator to copper windings. So there's these two copper windings that come in and they mate up to one of the commutator bars, and they're soldered from the factory, but over 40 years and who knows sitting how long, maybe, I don't think there was any water pooling in the valley of the V on this V6 engine, which is where the starter motor lives. But man, there's so much corrosion on this 40-year-old Biturbo that it's like it got dipped in the ocean and used for a boat anchor for a week, and then they pulled it back out and stuck it in this guy's yard in the Oregon, Portland, Oregon area. Anyhow, finally got it going, and do another test here to demonstrate. So if I wanted to just do the electric motor, do that. If you just want to do the solenoid, but if you want to do both, some of y'all posting in the comments have never used a metal screwdriver or a punch like this to jump the contacts on a starter motor, and it shows. So that's good. Before, I would go to test it and the solenoid would shoot out, but the motor wouldn't spin. And I could come down here and I could spin the gear for the starter motor and then try again, and then it would work. But if it came to a rest at the point where the windings on the commutator lined up with one of the brushes, it would not crank over. But I finally found the corrosion, used the multimeter to find where the high resistance was at, and first I tried with one of these little gun welder, and that did almost nothing. I tried to like remelt the solder. I used a little bit of flux. That basically did nothing. So I got a butane torch, and that was almost working. Copper transfers heat energy really well, though. So what I ended up doing was, I've got my TIG welder over there, and I used that. I had to get the grounding clamp positioned at the top of the commutator bar so that as I struck an arc, the flow of the electricity didn't have to go very far. And that worked pretty well. That got hot quick, and it had all the heat concentrated in one area, and so the copper wires are now basically welded to the commutator instead of just soldered, and that's as good as it gets, right? I mean, there's no way for corrosion to get into a weld. So let's see, I welded 2, 4, 6, 8. I welded 8 of them, and that's less than half of them. It's maybe a quarter of the commutator bars and winding wires. So, but mostly I was after the spots where it looked like maybe corrosion had gotten between. So this just needs a little more love. I wanted to clean this up Now that I've got it working right, now I can do the cosmetics. This has just been sandblasted. I need to prime and paint that because otherwise this is just going to rust the first time water hits it. And after that, then it'll be ready to go back in the car.